The Wendy Williams Show.
It's time for Hot Topics. I'm so glad it's Monday. Monday saves me from myself. I don't know who I've become, but I like her. And I'm grateful to be here with you. Wow, it's almost 100%, Suzanne.
It is, we're getting there. We're getting there every day, more and more. It's great.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. All right, so I had a jam-packed weekend. Okay, it started with, I did go to Fresco by Scotto on Thursday night for dinner. Rosanna and the family, Katie Couric was there, over there. Rob Shooter was there, over there, you know, from the Inside Scoop. And I had dinner with a friend, and the whole Scotto family, they come over, you know, you better be good to her, she's like family. They're like, thank you, you guys. Anyway, so then I left there and I went home because I knew I had to prepare myself for Friday, which is Lamar and the fight. And Aaron got knocked out. You know, but here comes the punch. Look, there was one last punch where he literally looked up. He was on his knees. He was like, no, just, I'm going home. That was it. Wait, no. It's coming up. The fight was only like 2 minutes. But I gotta tell you something. Damon Feldman, who owns the fight, and that was my date for the evening. Damon does a really good job of putting these fights together. If you weren't at Showboat on Friday, then you were nowhere. I felt like, wow, this is, And he's got his own everything. You know, this Damon, he used to fight himself. 18 years ago, he quit, you know, professional fighting because, you know, maybe, you know, you want to do more with your life, you know? But he was also undefeated when he fought. Oh. So he knows fighting. So Damon had it all organized from his own car, his own driver, his own security. They were Damon's. They weren't like borrowed people from the Showboat or anything like that. And it was very organized. So I never ended up going down to the floor to the fight because it was so crowded and Damon was very upset because there was a particular seat that he wanted me to sit in. And apparently somebody was sitting in the seat, and I totally get it. No. When you're at a fight, you don't tap on a shoulder and say, can you get up, Wendy's coming. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want problems. So they were trying to figure out, you know, the seat. I fell asleep. Oh, I was in a beautiful suite. I didn't turn off the lights in the bathroom. Remember I told you I wasn't gonna trust anything? It was beautiful. I know. And it was me all by myself. I kind of wish I brought friends with me, you know, because we had a whole party going on in there. I never went to the floor. I saw the fight on closed circuit TV that Damon provided. And when I woke up, Lamar was standing over the bed.
What?
With this gift. And I got misty, we hugged. He wasn't even sweating. He literally came right from off the floor to my suite. And he wasn't panting. He wasn't walking weird, like nothing. And so he came in, he gave me the belt. I said, oh, Lammy, you won. We hugged. I asked him to sit down because, you know, he's really tall. Even for a tall girl, you spend your whole life like this. Like, Lamar, sit down for a moment. And we talked about, you know, the fight. And he said, no, I'm not gonna lose, Wendy. He's like, I'm glad you were here. What are you doing now? He's, you know, the belt says, a true champion, queen of talk shows, Wendy Williams. Damon had this made for me. Damon had this made for me, and I appreciate it so much. I did not expect this at all. Lamar, ever so delicately, placed it around my waist and commented that it's very small. And after he placed it, I never took it off, and I waited for him to leave like a half hour, 20 minutes or something like that, you know, because that's the champ. I don't want any problems. I'm not walking with the champ.
Yeah.
So I stayed in my room, and then I got in my car, and I came back. And like I told you, I thought I'd get back like 3 or 4 in the morning. I got back at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh. And I made a new friendship. Yeah, Waka Flocka's mom, Deb Antony. Deb left the fight for a moment, came up to the room. We sat like 2 schoolgirls talking about everything. You know, our beauty regimens, hair, the business and stuff. And I told her, Deb, next time you're in New York, we've got to go for dinner. We've got, like, yeah, we made a connection. Yeah. So the fight was great. I want to thank everybody, you know, especially, you know, Damon Feldman for making this happen. It was so exciting, and I was so excited. It doesn't matter, I didn't leave the room. By the way, the bed and the pillows were very comfortable. And, Can I do the rest of the Hot Topics like this?
Yes.
Like, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Well, because Coach sent Willie this Coach dress for me. Yeah, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, right?
Yeah, it is.
But well, it looks like Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani are married. I like their relationship. You know, she's got 3 kids. He doesn't have children yet, but Gwen was spotted wearing her wedding ring on Saturday. Now, you know they were already engaged, but look, now she's got the full setup. And she posted she's getting married. I like it. There's really not, look, what a cute picture. Yeah. And, you know, they were both married when they got on The Voice, but then both of their marriages crumbled while they were on The Voice. And, you know, when you do a show, you definitely talk to your coworkers and stuff. They probably bonded over, you know, do I divorce? Do I not divorce? And then one day they blinked twice and realized, wow, here it is, you. Oh, I went to the best backyard barbecue ever in Jersey. Well, you know what? So my friend Tef calls, and Tef's like, you know, what you doing, Wendy? And I said, wondering what to eat for lunch. And he goes, well, look, I'm at the car wash. I'm gonna come by and pick you up. My 25-year-old nephew is celebrating his birthday. The backyard, I said, are there gonna be deviled eggs and spare ribs? You know, and all the worst stuff? Is there gonna be a DJ? Like, is this a real you know what I'm saying, Norman?
Yeah, like a
old school.
cookout.
Okay,
right.
First of all, there was a DJ. The DJ, sus, I can't help but... Look, I can't help but talk to I know you all are creative in your own thing, but you know my music.
Yeah, I know your music. Did he kill it?
Yeah, he ended up killing it.
All right.
And it was in Jersey, and there was a VIP area that you could go a step and repeat. And so here's the birthday boy. All at 25. I bought him a bottle of yak.
Perfect.
Yo, he loved it. I bought him a bottle of yak. I don't know whether he opened it or not, because he was dragging around Patron, one of those big bottles. But it was all peaceful and all good, and people were coming in with food and stuff like that. I had a really good time, and Tef kept asking me, you ready to go? You ready to go? Like 10 minutes in, I'm like, get out of here, I'm enjoying the family. Look, there were 2 people who passed out and fell right on, no. Because I'm in a folding chair, right? I got a folding chair, I got my sunglasses, I'm eating my food, I feel a clunk on the back. It's a grown man, had to be easily 60 years old. But, you know, working it so, like, he got up.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay. Then the younger crowd wanted to have a twerk off. So this is where the DJ had to change to that music. You know what I mean? I'm not into the music, but I like to see young people have fun and just stay out of trouble. The girls are twerking hard, okay? Hard. And I'm eating, and I'm looking. Next thing I feel, thump on the other back of my chair. Look, she twerked so hard, she fell all the way out. She took a moment to get her wits about her, then she got back up and continued dancing. Yeah. And then I left. Like, I don't know who I've become, but I like it. Like,
That's amazing. That's a good weekend.
yeah. Yeah. And unbeknownst to what headlines say, I do not have a boyfriend, but I do keep people of interest. So on the series finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which I missed on Thursday because I was at Scotto's, Kim opened up as to why she was unhappy in her marriage with Kanye. Take a look.
And
I get it. You know, she's a very likable woman. I do believe that she was speaking to her mother in her own truth. And, you know, 40 is a big deal. You know, when you turn 40 and you look around and you say, okay, I've got all this money and the success and the children and stuff, but I want to watch Housewives with my husband. And, you know, watching TV is very important in a relationship. You know, Kim, she's just like us. You know, watching TV is important. You know, going to the market and, you know, buying plums is important. Sitting around and, you know, making breakfast, just in the house, like those things are so important. The simple things mean a lot. Yeah. That's kind of like the kind of stuff that me and Deb were talking about in the suite, is that, you know, the simple, after a while in life, simple things mean more than the big things. So right after the finale, Kanye unfollowed the whole family and Kim on social media. That doesn't bother me. You know, it's probably, he's still working on himself, you know, and, you know, Kanye's a bit of an odd fellow. And, you know, along with not being able to take him to the market without him wearing weird clothes, and, or devil mask.
Oh, right.
You know? Okay, so that's that. I kind of want to put this on. No, you know what? but I need somebody to help me. But I'll do it during commercials. All right. Shocked about this. I immediately called Norman and said, I don't know what you all have going on with Hot Topics, and I ran down my weekend.
Uh-huh.
And excuse me, before I do this story.
Uh-huh.
So I wake up, shout out to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I was so good on TV. Yeah. And a special shout out to the Westminster Dog Show. I watched that. Yeah. I'm back and forth watching. Chit-chatting my way or jealous. So I wake up either Saturday or Sunday, I forget which one. All I know is there was a text from Fat Joe. Oh. And every time he texts or calls, all I think of, based on this face right here, what'd I do? I didn't mean it. Can we make it right?
Right.
He's a frightening friend. Uh-huh. Miss Jones was in town, by the way, and wanted me to go with her to see Rakim, who was last night in Elizabeth, New Jersey. But I had too much of a weekend. Yeah. You know, and Elizabeth, a shout out to you. That's where my mother is from. But Elizabeth, the crime scene is as bad there as it would be like in Bed-Stuy or whatever. Like, no, I'm not going into a club. And you know what, Rakim? You are the worst friend ever. Just the worst. For several reasons. I love him. Okay, so Fat Joe, the text. So I look at the text. Here's the picture that was on the text. The picture. Okay. I'm like, I don't want to be involved. What do you want? Somebody wake up Millie and tell her that, okay, so Fat Joe's friend, Lenny Green, who's a local DJ here in New York, he does a Quiet Storm type thing. Oh, there he is. Lenny is very interested in Millie. Oh. And all I can do is be the plug. Or you all figure it out. Grown people, she's single, you know, good luck with you all. What's up?
You playing matchmaker?
I know, me and Fat Joe are matchmakers, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Wendy Tinder.
Okay. So, the story is French Montana's driver was assaulted. Now, French, he's so good looking to me. Look at the jewelry and the whole bit. But for some reason, he looks a little lost in this picture. You know? You know,
Right.
like you want to hug him.
Right.
So the driver is sitting outside the Dream Hotel here in Manhattan. And it was 8 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, which was not odd to me, considering I got in at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm a decent woman most of the time. So the Dream Hotel, very popular. There was a shootout outside the night before, and one man died. So the driver happens to be 18 years old. Well, you know how the rappers are. They employ dem boys and dem, you know, to give them that wasn't odd to me. If he has a valid driver's license, he knows how to whip through the streets and stuff. He had on a bunch of good jewelry, though, like a lot of diamonds, a lot of gold around his neck, and then he was wearing, a Richard Mille watch. I don't have that. First time I ever saw one was Food God has one, and because he loves watches. Anyway, two men in masks while this young 18-year-old is standing outside at 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess leaned against the car or whatever, tried to yank off a $40,000 chain. The driver was like, oh no. So they showed him they had a gun and they shot to the ground. That's dangerous unto itself.
Yeah.
The ground is right there. What
I
about
know.
the shrapnel?
Shrapnel and my foot. Yeah. Right.
The driver ended up handing over the necklace and his $300,000 Richard Mille watch. The two men ran away, and if I were French, I would not buy him more jewelry. This young man needs to learn the code of the streets. I don't know whether he's from New York or whether he just travels with Philly. Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you're waiting for me, stay in the car, keep the doors locked, keep the radio off so you hear all sirens and everything, keep the motor running. And if something happens, be in a good space or double parked where you just pull off, call me up, and then, you know, I'll go through the back door and get in or something. Just very sad. Hi, French. The thing is that when you go out, and it's like when you're by yourself, like me, I go out by myself a lot, you know, and then I meet people while I'm out. Like when I was at the barbecue, the DJ wanted to know more about music. I remember the old man who fell on my chair. He was asking me, so what does it take to be you? I'm like, sir, I am not here for an interview. I am here for potato salad, okay? But people think, you know, there's more. Like I'm sure the DJ's looking at sus over there like, I'll be next. No, it doesn't work like that. I explained very politely, though. You know what I mean? I explained.
What did you tell him exactly? I need to know when he said that. I need to know what you told him.
No, I told him, I said, no. You know, we have an operation. It's a real talk show. I mean, I know I'm here in your backyard and I'm only with your, you know, his Uncle Teff. But I like to have a collection of crowds that I hang in. And I don't like to be asked about coming on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I like to sit back and observe. You know, like I told Deb, next time you're in town, let's have dinner. Next time you're in town, you know, be a real life hot topic or something.
Yeah.
Or something. Anyway, all right. We've got more great show for you, everybody. Up next, the inside scoop on Dina Manzo's attacker. He's going to prison, so grab a snack and... there you go. Welcome back. It's time for the Inside Scoop, and here with the dish is the host of The Morning Beat on Channel Q Radio. It's AJ Gibson.
Hello,
back.
hey, Wendy.
AJ?
First of all, I love the denim, I love the audience, so congratulations.
Right?
It's exciting, yeah. It's a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It's a big deal.
Okay, let's talk about a story that
Okay, so you do talk about the story a bit on your show. We have some updates, though. We're talking about this little Dina Manzo attacker situation that's just so complex.
Jersey Housewives,
That's right, yeah, former Jersey Housewife. Now, so John Perna pled guilty to carrying out this attack on Dina Manzo's now husband, David Canton, back in 2015. He's been sentenced to 30 months in prison officially.
Now, he attacked David in front of a strip mall.
Yes, yes. This is the first of 2 attacks. We're going to get to the second one. It's a lot. So he was also sentenced to 3 years of essentially supervised release and has to pay about $18,000 in restitution. Now, he is the son of the former leader of the Lucchese crime family, alleged mobsters from Jersey, who sort of, So there's a lot of layers to this story. It's very deep. Perna carried out the assault on July 18th of 2015, the first one, with the help of one of his alleged mob friends at the time. And in return for that, Tommy Manzo, Dina's ex, he gave him a very lavish wedding at his restaurant in Jersey, again in Jersey. The Brownstone, yes, the Brownstone. It's gorgeous. One of your team members had a wedding there years ago. I found out this morning.
Joelle.
Yeah, I mean, she said it was the most gorgeous wedding she's ever been to, and it was her own. Well, now Perna, so Perna pled guilty back in December, but never mentioned any sort of involvement by Tommy Manzo. Of course, he's staying hush-hush, if that is in fact the case, if Tommy was involved. Now you reported in Hot Topics that the prosecutors alleged that Dina's ex-husband, Tommy, again, hired Perna to assault David in exchange for this wedding, right? Well, since then, there have also been charges against Tommy now regarding the 2017 assault, a second one. This was the home invasion. She and her now husband were out here for Adriana's Judice's first communion.
Right.
Teresa's daughter, right?
Somebody busted in
They were
their
here,
house.
yeah. Well, they were only here for 2 days, which tells me that they knew the schedule. It was an inside job.
Right.
They don't even live here anymore. They live in California. So they were here for that. There was a bat involved. Bludgeoned. These two were bludgeoned during this home assault. So, yeah. So Tommy Manzo has now been charged with robbery, burglary, aggravated assault, theft, a weapons offense, criminal restraint, stalking. It's a lot. The list goes on and on. He did plead not guilty, and it got dozens and dozens of letters from people supporting him. Here's where the plot thickens again. One of those letters came from Caroline Manzo.
Against her own sister.
So just as a reminder, Caroline and Dina are blood sisters, and they're married to blood brothers. So that says that Caroline chose what the family she married into as opposed to the one that she was born with. It's a lot. She says that her allegiance lies with the truth. That's what Caroline is saying. However, this letter supporting seems to kind of say otherwise. Now, following her letter, Tommy was released on bail. Now, just a few weeks ago, to further take this a little bit further, Caroline's son Albie has a podcast, because everybody has a podcast, right?
Right.
So Albie on his podcast defended his mother's decision to support her husband and the Manzo family as opposed to her sister. We actually have a little bit of audio. Go ahead and roll it.
She made a choice that she knew going in was going to be extraordinarily unpopular. Could have been easily twisted into something that it isn't. But she made it anyway, because she felt it was the right thing to do. My mother wrote a letter based on the character of my uncle as we know him. The facts as we've seen them, as we know him in his life. It's about one thing. Is he a threat to society? The answer is no. We believe that answer is no.
Okay, so Albie does go on to say that even though, you know, he's estranged from his Aunt Dina, they do want to see whoever attacked her held accountable and behind bars.
So the guy at the strip mall, he's going to jail for 30 months?
30 months, yep.
And
Paying money and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Tommy's still allegedly involved, but listen, the mob thing, it's real. So whatever's going on, we'll let that play out.
No, it's real to them.
To them, but we'll let that play out. These are allegations still as far as Tommy's involved. But Dina has spoken out now because, of course, she had to respond to this podcast. And Dina took to Instagram saying, "Oh, shocking, going to speak about it on his podcast for the downloads. Unfortunately, this will just be a storyline for profit. What a shame." So she's hurt. I mean, she's clearly hurt. It's her nephew.
I was thinking,
And her
French
sister.
Montana, instead of giving your 18-year-old driver more jewelry, why don't you give him a scholarship? You know? All right, so Megan the Stallion,
Yes.
she's getting,
Yeah.
we like her here at the show.
Yes. Love Meg the Stallion. But there's some mixed emotions about her latest video. So she was teasing her latest video, Thought S, we'll say, on air, last week leading up to the release. Well, Friday, she dropped the video, and she's clearly taking some aim at her critics, right? The video opens with a sort of nameless senator who spends his time writing like misogynistic remarks on in the comment section of
She
her
looks
video.
great, though.
Right. Well, she does. I mean, listen. Wendy, you know none of that is my thing, but that could be my thing. Like she's fire.
Yeah.
Fire, right? So this sort of unnamed senator is eating Cheetos and getting orange dust on his fingers. Draw whatever conclusion you will, right? So then she gets a call, the senator gets a call from Meg the Stallion herself. She gives him an earful and she has this quote for him. She says, "The woman that you're accidentally trying to step on or everybody that you depend on, they treat your diseases, they cook your meals, they haul your trash, they drive your ambulances, they guard you while you sleep, they control every part of your life. Don't F with them." And so if you notice in the video, all the women you saw there, they're all dressed as some sort of a first responder. I've never seen first responders dressed like this, but that's sort of the idea. Conservatives, though, there's a lot of blowback on this. Ben Shapiro, in particular, called Cardi B and Megan's song WAP vulgar, read the lyrics on air. Tucker Carlson, another one of my favorite human beings in the entire world, he says that Megan was intentionally trying to degrade our culture and hurt our children. They were very unhappy with her performance with Cardi B of WAP at the Grammys. I get it. It was in prime time. That was a pretty aggressive performance.
But they let it happen.
But they let it happen,
Okay.
right? So now they got over 1,000 complaints from the FCC because of that. But she is unabashed. This is what I love about Meg the Stallion. If you haven't watched her on a show called Legendary on HBO Max, season 2, phenomenal. Like,
how are her fans feeling about the video?
oh no, her fans are defending her to the bitter end, as they should. I think her fans, and I'm one of them, see that she is speaking up for women in a time, in a place, in a way that is allowing women to be unapologetically themselves. And here's my thought. These conservative pundits, God bless their souls, right? During a global pandemic, during the height of Black Lives Matter, during the fight for justice,
and this
during
is what you have to comment
Pride
on?
Month, and this is what you're focused on, there's so many bigger issues than what she is doing and how she's twerking in the music video, in my opinion. So yeah. And also, I do just want to give a shout out. The video, the cinematography of it all is incredible. There's a sort of like a Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven-esque scene where her hand comes out of a bathtub and flips the senator off. It's gorgeous, and it's got like 7 million views so far on YouTube. So, what do you think? Do you like?
I like Megan. Her crowd is not my crowd.
Yeah.
It's something, you know, that, but I like her.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, but she is speaking for a whole generation of women who are trying to figure out themselves.
Sure.
And they're fans of hers. And she's, so far to me, being pretty responsible with what she does.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think on my best day, I can't imagine having the courage, whether you agree with her or not, to be that bold and that sort of in your face. Kudos to her.
Good for her.
Incredible. Yeah.
Thank you for being here, AJ Gibson, everybody. His book is called Flipping the Script. It's on Amazon. Trendy at Wendy is next. Hi, welcome back. It's time for Trendy at Wendy. Please welcome our friend, Mako. Mako, how you doing?
How you doing, Wendy?
Good. Tell us about the stuff and let's get into it.
It is. All right. So everything we have here is from our friends over at Rue La La. Let's get started with the first one. We have the Rebecca Minkoff 3-piece hard case luggage set. Now, this is divine. Check out this stylish luggage set, Wendy. As you can tell, it's that hard side exterior, right? But when you open it up, the interior is fully lined with pockets, so it helps to keep your belongings safe. But let's say you have your wet and dry items, you can keep them separate. But look at the prints, y'all.
Yeah.
They come in 3 fun animal prints that you can choose from.
And the wheels work very well.
Aren't they great? And you can spot it at baggage claim, so you don't have to worry which one your bag is. Here's what I would do. I would use like the smaller bags for like an individual kind of like a jaunt for the weekend or something like that, right? And then I use the full travel case for like when you're going on vacation. Use the whole entire
Do you get all 3 in one?
You get all 3. Let's get to the price point.
Okay.
So it normally retails for $1,150. I know y'all, but Wendy watches are getting it for 82%, just $199.99. All 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. My hatchet.
This is so fun. Okay. So this is the Jean Dubois 3-piece cheese set. Y'all, this is perfect for entertaining. Wendy, this is great quality we're talking about. It's made in France. You have the stainless steel, and then you have the acrylic braids. Unfortunately, you don't, but you do get this cutting board that comes along with it. You get the spreader, you get the knife, you get the cleaver. I believe you're holding the cleaver today. That's to cut your meat.
No, this is my favorite.
That's your favorite? Okay.
My cleaver.
You guys, it comes in 5 different colors, and it makes it so great. Let's say somebody invites you over to a barbecue.
Perfect hostess gift.
There you go. There you go. Let's get to the price point, though.
Okay.
Normally retails for $49, but Wendy watches, you're getting 38% off, just $29.99 for this entire set.
Nice. Nice.
Good, right?
Okay.
Yes, let's move on to jewelry.
Lightweight jewelry.
Lightweight jewelry. It's plated chunky. It's the tube hoop earring set, and I love these because you're actually they come in 2 sizes, Wendy, right? You can never go wrong with a pair of hoops. You style them with any outfit. Let's get back to the 2 sizes. You can either go big and bold, or you can kind of go subtle. And so they're made with a 24 karat plated gold, and you also get the silver as well. You get the 2 of each, right? You get the set when you purchase the entire thing.
Each size.
Each size, exactly. All right, so they normally retail for $108, but Wendy watches, you're getting 62% off for these hoops, just $39.99.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect, right?
Okay.
Okay, essential summer accessory. We have the Jimmy Choo women's sunglasses. Oh yeah, it's that iconic brand that we just know and we love. Wendy, you look fabulous in those.
I love them.
Oh yes. They do come in 6 styles and a variety of colorways. And you know what? Sunglasses are just a confidence booster. You put these on, immediately you feel good, right?
And with the mask, you virtually have to do nothing. Just walk out of the house.
I mean, that's it, right? This is an iconic brand. Let's talk about the price. The price normally retails for up to $485, but Wendy watches, you're getting 85% off of just $69.99.
Nice.
That's nice for the sunglasses, right?
It's worth it.
Let's talk about skincare. This is the Rajanot 3-ounce black caviar Cleopatra 24K golden facelift. Now that is a mouthful, but it does a lot. So essentially what this does, it helps to take care of your skin. It's made with the best ingredients, Wendy. We're talking about luxurious ingredients like 24 karat gold, collagen, omega-3s. It works on every single skin type.
What brand is this?
This is called Rajanot.
Oh, I know that brand.
You're familiar with it? It's
Yeah.
really good. A little bit goes a long way with this particular
What's
product.
this, like $8,000?
It normally is, but no, we're smarter than that, right? It normally retails for $950, but
Okay.
Wendy watches, you're getting 94% off, just $49.99.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank Mako and all of our friends at Rue La La. Get these deals before they sell out. Go to wendyshow.com. Take a look at them. We'll be right back. It's time for Ask Wendy, but first there is a man in the front in the Suswan area wearing a full-blown, how you doing? Yes. The socks, the sneakers.
Thanks for telling us.
Thank you. My people. My people. Look. And so he's here with his best friend. Right there. Welcome to the show. Are you having fun? Thank you. All right, have a seat. It's time for Ask Wendy. How you doing? What's your name? Where you from?
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm from Jersey. How you doing?
How can I help, Tiff?
Okay, so my sister has actually lived with me on and off for the past year, and she kind of critiques my living habits. She tends to be more on the neat freak side, and I'm a little messier. She actually started grading my cleaning habits, so I'd get like a B+, an A-. I never hit an A+ though. But she moved out just about a week ago, still in the same area, but I'm a little nervous that when she comes back, she's gonna start critiquing me again.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
How old is she?
29.
Okay, what do you mean when she comes back? You mean when she comes
So when
to
she comes
visit?
to visit.
Okay. Well, are you a real slob?
So I'm not dirty.
Okay.
I'm more on like the messier side. And I have a dog, he comes and he'll leave his toys around. He leaves his toys.
Yeah.
And like,
Do you work? Do you go to school? What's
I
your...
do. I'm in sales, so we sell like wine glasses and stuff. So I'm normally traveling around.
You're very
the country
busy.
with that. Yes.
Well, tell your sister, pick a finger. You know, you still love each other. She's not paying your bills.
No.
Live your life. Enjoy. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Time for pop quiz. Let's meet our player. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Veronica from California. How you doing, Wendy?
How you doing? All right, Veronica, here's your question. Who's hosting the Kardashian reunion special on Thursday? Ryan Seacrest, Andy Cohen, or Scott Disick?
That's Andy Cohen, Wendy.
Yes! We're gonna give you a $100 gift card to Windsor Store, and we'll be right back. Our studio audience is growing every day, and I love it. Are you all having a good time? If you want to be one of my co-hosts, go to wendyshow.com for tickets. We'll be right back. Today, I want to thank our guests, also my co-host, my studio audience. Welcome to the show. Food God is here. Plus, I've got you covered with the hot topics. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on The Champ.
How you doing?
Nice.